Okay, so last day, I introduced the word integers. Some of you guys had heard it before. Some of you guys knew what the definition is. For some of you guys, it was a completely brand new word. So when you said the word integers, it was just positive and negative whole numbers. Right? That's what an integer was. So all of our answers in this chapter are going to be positive or negative whole numbers. So the calculations are going to be relatively easy. Right? So that's why we're going to try to do things without a calculator in this chapter. In the next chapter, we're going to start using a calculator. And we started talking about comparing numbers. Right? If something is bigger, it's further right on the number line. The more positive it is. If something is smaller, it's further left on the number line. Right? Okay. And then we use these symbols. All right? These are called inequality symbols. Thank you, Thomas. All right? Right? The mouth of these symbols open up to the bigger number. The little line underneath means equal to. Right? And we used symbols like X's here to represent a whole bunch of numbers. So this is saying all the numbers bigger than or equal to 7. Right? All right. So let's go here. So underneath each one of these, let's go just copy the numbers down. Go 5 space 2. Go -3 space 0. -5 space -5. 3 space 8. -2 space -3. Yes, Thomas.
What page are we on?
We're on page 1.
So this one here?
Yeah, we're right here and right here.
All right.
This one, right? All right. So once you've copied it down, we just need to use the inequality, right? So we're going to talk about the bigger number, right? The mouth opens up to the bigger number. Where do we put the mouth up? Towards the 5 or towards the 2? 5. Mouth opens towards the 5, the bigger number, right? Over here, 3 or 8. Where does the mouth open up towards?
8.
8. Excellent. -3 or 0. Where does the mouth open up towards?
What page are we on?
Page 1. 0. We're in the, oops, wrong sign. Cash, we're in the bottom right-hand corner of page 1. Looks like that. All right? All right. -2, -3. Does the mouth open -2 or -3?
-2. But why you smile?
Shh. Thank you. Okay? The one that is more positive, like I heard majority of people guys say -2. You don't look at just the 2 or the 3. We're looking for the one who is further right. And -2 is further right. Okay. Those are excellent. Equals. So we use the equal symbol. And that's it. All right? Those are using the inequality. So now, we're going to finish off our notes onto the back side of the page. I'm going to introduce number lines and a new word to you as well. Right? Okay. So, I've got all these conditions here. And we're going to try to replace the math sentence here with a picture of what the sentence is saying down here. So we have question A here. The answer for A is going to go here. So this is saying, hey, on the number line, highlight these numbers. -1, 0, 3. So that one's easy. So on where it says A, we put a dot here at -1. We put a dot at 0. We put a dot at 3. So that means, hey, out of all the numbers that exist in the universe, the only ones we're concerned with are these ones here. That's it. Okay. Next up, question or letter B here. We're going to put our answer here. We're looking for this. So this is the math sentence. We're going to say it in English. Instead of saying X, I'm going to say all the numbers less than 1. So okay, we find 1 here. And now we're going to pick the numbers less than 1. So do we go left of 1 or to the right of 1?
Left.
Left. So we're talking about integers. So we're not doing decimals, so we're not doing arrows, so we're only picking 0, 1, 2, all -2, -3, -4, -5. And these number lines go on forever. So I'll put a dot on the arrow here and we'll put down a symbol for that. What is the number or the symbol for going on forever? Does anybody know that?
Is it an X?
No, not X. I heard somebody say it. Infinity. So the symbol for infinity?
It's an 8. Sideways 8.
Sideways 8. Now, in this direction, we're not going to infinity, but we're going towards negative infinity. So we do the infinity symbol and a little negative sign. Well, that's supposed to be a little sideways 8. All right? So we'll just do that. It's going on forever. Now, for this one here, do I put a dot at 1?
No.
No, this says it's less than, not equal to. So 1 doesn't get a dot. All right. Let's do C. All right. Okay, this one's a little bit harder to read. This is saying all the numbers between -3 and 2.
All the numbers.
Between -3 and 2.
-2.
So here is C. All right, I'm just gonna highlight -3 and 2 underneath. I'm not gonna put my dots yet. So where do I put my dots?
2, -2,
-2, -1,
Yeah.
0, and 1.
Thank you guys. So here, -2, -1, 0, and 1. In between those two boundaries. All right? Not at -3 because we didn't have an equal sign. Right? All right. Going on to D. All the numbers bigger than -2.
All the numbers bigger than -2.
Yeah, so we find -2 here. Bigger than -2. Do I go left of -2 or right of -2?
Right. Left. Right.
Hands up, don't yell.
Oh, wait, no. Bigger, right?
Hands up
Right.
to the right. Right is bigger, more positive.
Wait,
So,
my right or your right? My
right is right. So, to the right of -2, not including -2, we're putting dots on the whole numbers.
Wait, all of them?
All of them. And it keeps on going forever.
So we do a sideways 8 again?
So we do a sideways 8. This time it's a positive infinity. We'll just say going off to positive infinity. Right? Okay.
Okay, I see first.
Next up. Oops. E. This one here.
Bro.
Carson.
Any number that's less than or equal to 1.
Any numbers less than or equal to 1. So here, or, oops, that. We are, oh, that's jumping. Hold on. Escape. Here is 1 right there. We want to go less than 1. Do we go left or right?
Left.
Left. And Carson, do we include 1 or not?
Yes.
Yes. So we go starting at 1. This is less than or equal to. We go left of it. Every single one. And put a dot on the arrow
And
since
infinity?
negative infinity.
Or
Because you're going left forever.
something do negative?
Yeah, you need the negative part. Okay. Next one. Ooh, this is not operating nicely.
We did the back like this.
Okay. This is saying all the numbers, then you go all to the one bigger than or equal to -1, but also less than 3. So I have -1 here, I have 3 here.
Go in between.
We're going in between those.
1, 2,
And Bryce,
0, 1, 2, and -1.
0,
-1.
yep, -1, 0, 1, 2, right? So we're going equal to -1 because that side had an equal sign on it. The 3 didn't. Have you guys done these before?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Grade 7.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So a little bit of review for you guys. Okay. Now, over to the right-hand side of the page. I've got a word from you guys. I hope you've heard this one before. We use it a lot in math. It's the word opposite. So if I give you 5, what would you say the opposite of 5 is?
-5.
-5. If I give you -15, what's the opposite of -15?
Positive 15.
So the word opposite just means it is the equal distance from 0. So these two are opposites, -1 and 1. -2 and 2 are opposites. -3 and 3 are opposites. -4 and -5. All of these are opposite. So every single integer has an opposite. Except for 0.
I was about to say that.
Yeah. So that's the answer for here.
Why read my hand?
Except for 0. So
Zero's left out of everything.
yeah. So now you'll notice the way I do my notes, it's not necessarily in the order from top to bottom or left to right. It's sort of, I kind of jump over left and right all over the place to whatever makes sense to how to learn the concepts for the first time. Well, once you've learned it, I've placed in a way where it makes more sense just to read from top to bottom, right? So right now we're filling the page kind of all over the place, but when you, I think that's better to learn it. Please don't touch my cabinets. All right? Excuse me?
I mean,
All right? Okay. So, if I give you 8, what is the opposite of 8?
-8.
8.
-8.
Thank you. Opposite of -9? 9. All right. Okay. So let's continue on. Now, I think you guys got this. We need to fill the rest of these numbers up. Sometimes math terminology gets a little tricky, right? So opposites are on the other side of the number line, but sometimes we don't say positive and negative. We use different words to mean positive and negative. So if I say 7 degrees below 0 as your temperature, am I referring to positive 7 degrees or negative? Bryce, negative. So this 7 degrees below is referring to negative 7 degrees. Negative 7. Maybe I'll write down negative 7 to be more explicit here. Negative 7. Right? Right? Just so you know, you can put a -7 if you want, right? I just want to really highlight it.
Or I just wrote down -.
Okay, that's fine. Now, if I say you want $7, would that be +7 or minus? Oh, sorry, 175. +7 or -7?
Plus.
Nav, raise your hand. Do not call out.
+75.
+75. Thank you, Nav. +75. Let's switch to here. +75. Okay. Have a golf score of 3 above par. Ooh, who plays golf?
Me.
Thomas.
It means it's negative.
No,
Nope.
it doesn't.
Positive.
Positive.
Or it's not.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
You didn't know that.
Lots of times, some questions involve prior knowledge, and not everybody plays golf. So in golf, a par is considered a score of 0. If you go to a golf course, you try to do a hole, and they'll give you a rating on the hole. They'll say, hey, this hole is a par 3 or a par 4. What that means is it should take you 3 hits, if it's a par 3, to get the ball in the hole. If it takes you 4 hits, that means it took you 1 more than it should. So you have a +1 as your score. If you were able to do it in 2 hits, it took you 1 less than it should, then your score is a -1. So par, right, is the 0 mark in golf. All right. Hayward Lake has a depth of 38 meters. Is that positive 38 and negative 38, Lyndon?
Negative 38.
Negative 38. Depth is going down into the lake. How far down do we go? Negative 38. All right. You lost $15. We can go for price this time.
Negative.
Negative. All right. Red Mountain, if you have if you mountain bike or you go hiking, has an elevation of 1,171 feet, plus or minus maximum.
By the way, I live on the bottom of Red Mountain. And
Okay.
plus.
So that'd be plus, right? So elevation, you're going up. That is plus 1,171 feet. Okay, that's it. So now, there's lots of different ways this can be written with plus and minus. In everyday language, do you know, can you think of any terminology that might be plus or minus? Like another way that people talk about it? Like, can you think of anything? All right. Hard, like the Carson?
I leveled up 3 times.
You leveled up 3 times, yeah, that means up 3, or
Eating food.
alright.
Or down.
Right? Or the word fallen and risen sometimes refers to plus or minus. So if you're not sure if something means positive or negative, just raise your hand and ask me, okay? All right.